week on Drew Pearson Live, the crew from STI740 Youth Sports Talk is in the house, and they're going to show us how to run a sports and educational talk show. Plus, the lovely Dr. G is back to tackle emotional eating, and our entertainment expert Paul Salpin scores another big interview with one of the stars of the new movie Unfinished Business. It's all right here this week on Drew Pearson Live. Hut, hut!
Yeah, what's up? This is STI740, and right here we're on the set of Drew Pearson Live, and right here we have a Hall of Famer, Ring of Honor, and this man, he had 489 catches throughout his whole career, 7,822 receiving yards, and 48 touchdowns. He's from South River, New Jersey, and him, Tony Hill, became the first Cowboys wide receiver tandem to both have 1,000 yards in the same season. And him, Tony Hill, and Tony Dorsett both became the NFL's first triplet duo to have 1,000 yards, 1,000 yards doing their job, like rushing. Tony Dorsett had 1,000 yards rushing. Mr. Drew Pearson had 1,000, and so did Tony Hill, at the least. So right now, let's go ahead and bring up our special guest for today, Mr. Drew Pearson.
Right on. Thank you, Isaac. It's great to be here. Jabari as well. Thank you. I didn't know I did all that. Can you repeat that again? Good stuff, man. Thank you for the reminder. I wish I can take that now and go negotiate a contract, but not today.
No, I don't know. You might still have it in you.
Well, I could catch. There's no question. But I don't want to take a hit. Okay? And I don't think you can do that and play football.
So, who were your mentors growing up?
My mentor growing up was my dad, of course. You know, he kind of set the tempo for us. He wanted all his boys. I had 3 brothers growing up and 3 sisters, but he wanted the boys to play sports, and he led us in that direction. So he was a big factor in my life. And then my high school coach, I remember him like yesterday. It was yesterday playing for him, Joe Bellissimo. He's been an influence. And then later in life, when I got to the Cowboys, this guy like Tom Landry and Roger Staubach, and those kind of guys set the precedent for me because the way they did things. And what I wanted to do is learn from them and learn how to do things in my adult life as a professional athlete and professional person. And those 2 guys were very professional, so they did a good job of mentoring not only me, but a lot of players that come through with the Dallas Cowboys.
So, you used to play quarterback. Do you think you could have done as well as you did as receiver playing quarterback, or?
No, I played quarterback in high school. I followed a guy named Joe Theismann, right? You know that. Hey, nice, man. I like that. I followed Joe Theismann in high school, and only reason I played quarterback is because there's no one else. You know, they kind of begged me, and my brother-in-law kind of sat me down and convinced me, because I wanted to be a wide receiver. And he convinced me to go ahead and play quarterback, because in high school, you don't throw the ball that much. Well, back then they didn't. So at least at quarterback position, you can touch the ball on every play. And so I decided to play it, and then was good enough to get a scholarship to Tulsa. But when I got to Tulsa, I said, oh man, I got skills to play quarterback, but not skills to play it on the pro level. So that's when I asked my college coach to move me to wide receiver. And I moved to wide receiver just before my junior year in college. And I started 1 year, my sophomore year, at quarterback with a final 7 games. So, and that helped me in the NFL, because being a receiver that had played quarterback, I had a tendency to look at the picture a little different than the other players. I looked at the picture like a quarterback, and I could tell you what the defense was going to do. I knew all the assignments that our offensive players had to carry out for each and every play. So it gave me a different perspective and helped me become a better professional in the NFL.
So tell me, like, what does it mean to leave your legacy by being added to the Ring of Honor?
Well, it means a lot. You know, that's something I really wanted. You know, every time when I played a game at Texas Stadium and came down that tunnel to step out on that field, you know, I'm all excited and pumped up. But every time I came out of that tunnel, I'd look to the right of the stadium and see those names in the Cowboy Ring of Honor. Roger Staubach, Bob Lilly, Don Perkins, Don Mary. And I wanted my performance that day to be worthy of that type of recognition one day. And the thing about it finally happened for me 29 years after I retired, but it did happen. And the thing about it, when you go to Cowboy Stadium now, you see my name up there, yeah, that means a lot, but don't judge me by that name being up there. Judge me how I got there. You know, the road I had to take, the things I had to overcome, the adversity, the challenges that you had to overcome to get to that point. And my favorite saying is from Frederick Douglass. It says, don't judge me by the heights I've reached, but rather from the depths from which I've come. And that's what I like to be remembered as, my legacy, when people see my name up there in the Cowboy Ring of Honor.
So you were the original 88.
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about your successors wearing number 88?
It's okay, you know, because when they see that, when Michael Irvin wore it, you know, Michael asked me, Drew, can I wear your number? I said, well, Michael, it's not my number, it's the Cowboy number. And I said, if you do wear it, don't do what I did in it. Do more than I did. And Michael did. He went all the way to the Hall of Fame, had a great career, 3 Super Bowls and everything. So well, when we got together with Dez, when Dez came to town, they anointed him with 88. We said, both of us said to Dez, don't do what we did, do more than that. So Dez has got a lot of pressure on him to do more than a Hall of Fame career. Well, how do you do that? Well, what you do is you have your career, do all the things that you can individually, but tie it into winning and try to win more championships than Michael Irvin did, where he won 3, more championships than Drew Pearson did when he won 1. So that's how you make a difference and how you separate yourself from the previous number 88s.
So we know that, like, you made it to the league, and there's a lot of nerves going through your body when you're on the field.
Oh, yeah.
So how were the nerves? How were those nerves?
The nerves were very difficult I had to manage them because, you know, I hope no one's eating dinner or lunch or breakfast right now, but I used to regurgitate before every NFL game I played. I was so nervous I couldn't even drink any water, no Gatorade or anything like that. And sometimes almost through a whole football game I couldn't take anything in because I couldn't hold it on my stomach. Never had any problem with that in high school or college, but as soon as I got to the pros, it started happening. The first time it happened, it was a very much a concern for the training staff. But then after a while, they said, oh, he does that every game. That's just Drew. He's just getting ready for the game. But that nervous feeling, it wasn't a feeling that you weren't going to go out there and perform. It's a feeling that you had to have so that you can go out there and do your job. You're not afraid, but you're nervous that you're not going to do it as well as you can. And that nervous feeling, that fear, motivates you to go out there and do it as well as you can.
So you had a lot of memorable moments in college and NFL. What was your most memorable moment in college and NFL?
Well, my most memorable moment in college was my, let's see, my junior year when we beat the University of Arkansas. They were ranked number 6 or something in the nation at that time. We went to Fayetteville, Tulsa. We weren't a very good team, and nobody gave us a chance to beat them. We ended up beating them 21-20, and I caught a touchdown in that game, and that's really only the highlight of my college career, unfortunately. But I had a lot of moments with the Cowboys, and you know, my rookie year I caught an 83-yard touchdown in the closing seconds of that game, a playoff game to help the Cowboys win against the Los Angeles Rams. The next year we come back on Thanksgiving Day. I catch a winning touchdown with 23 seconds left from Clint Longley to win that game on Thanksgiving Day. And then in the Hail Mary catch from Roger Staubach in 1975. And then in 1980, I caught 2 touchdowns in the final 4 minutes against the Atlanta Falcons to help us win that game. So the point of that is not all the catches I had in those clutch situations. The point is, it didn't matter who the quarterback was, because you know, Roger Staubach throwing the Hail Mary, Clinton Longley throwing that bomb on Thanksgiving Day, and then Danny White throwing those last 2 touchdowns against the Atlanta Falcons. So it didn't matter who the quarterback was. I used to tell any quarterback, Roger, Clint, Danny White, whomever it might be, just throw it in that same area code, 214 area code, and I'm going to get the ball. And guess what? I didn't drop any balls in my career. Do you ever see me drop a ball on my highlights?
No, sir.
No, sir. I don't drop nothing. I don't even drop a phone call. That's not my fault. That's Spring. All right, do you drop anything?
No, sir.
I like that, right on. Don't drop nothing, all right? What else you got for me?
So, if you could reverse any decision that you made in your past, like in your past career, what would that be?
Oh my, I wouldn't have signed for that $150 signing bonus the Cowboys gave me. I would have held out for $200. You talk about here, Dez making $13 million and not too happy about that, and Cole Beasley signing 4 years, $13 million. Well, my first year's salary in the NFL was $14,500. My signing bonus was $150. And if I could do that again, I'd hope that I could get drafted and try to get a little more money. But I didn't hold out for 15 grand or $200 signing bonus. I just wanted that opportunity because I didn't get drafted into the NFL. I had to go in as a free agent.
Undrafted.
Yeah, and that's back when free really meant free. You can see what I got in my contract. But back then it wasn't about the money. You know, we wanted money, we needed money, I needed money. But it was about playing for the Dallas Cowboys. It was about playing for Tom Landry. You're in the same huddle with Roger Staubach, Calvin Hill, Rayfield Wright, Billy Joe Dupree, Tony Dorsett, all those great guys. And because you're around people like that, then you have a chance to be a success yourself. The old saying is, if you surround yourself with successful people, then you have a chance to be a success yourself. You want to be a bum, hang around bums. You want to be a good football player, hang around the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, so what would Drew Pearson like to be remembered for?
Just a person that took advantage of the opportunities given to me and understanding that I came into the league with a lot of humility because I wasn't drafted. And my whole MO, the time I was in the NFL, was to make the most of it, but also to give back and try to take my position as a player in the Dallas Cowboys, my name, likeness, and presence, and try to use it in ways to help others and to give back, so to speak. And hopefully I've been able to do that. And people say that he's a good guy, good football player, and he gave back to the community, then that's all you need to say about Drew Pearson. And a good dad as well. And a grandpa. And all that too.
All right, so we would like to thank you, Mr.
Got
Pearson.
it. Thank you guys, great stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, this is STI740 and we're signing out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace. Peace out. Give it up.
Bring that energy.
Give it up. Give it to him. There you go. Good stuff. Now, I'm going to have a job next week. Welcome back to Drew Pearson Live. I'm joined now by John Mitchell and the rest of the crew from STI740. We met Isaac and Jabari earlier. So, John, tell me about the program and how these it's working out and helping these kids.
So, STI740 is an actual program or production of the Arts to Live Connection Learning Institute. The Arts to Live Connection Learning Institute is a project that came out of the Greater Dallas Community Development Corporation. And the whole concept was to focus on the arts and give our kids an opportunity to express themselves artistically.
Mm-hmm.
So, the show in itself has become a voice, a vehicle, a vessel to give these young people an opportunity to write their own story, tell their own story.
Nice.
It's shot by youth, produced by youth, directed by youth, hosted by youth, edited by youth. So we're teaching transferable job skills to urban American kids that can go with them for the rest of their life.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Introduce who you got here with you
Okay,
today,
so
John.
Here we have Mr. Isaiah Cherry.
Okay.
This is my mini-me.
All right,
This
John.
is Ms. Rachel B., who is the artistic, creative director and the beauty of the Bronx.
Right on. Ms. B, how is it working with these kids? It's got to be rewarding for you as well.
It is. It's been an awesome experience. We began this journey many years ago. Youth has always been a huge platform when it comes to what it is that we do. And being able to fulfill so many dreams and destinies for these young people has been an awesome experience because we're equipping them with tools that they can use for the rest of their lives. And we've welcomed so many more kids to come along. I think they are so fascinated by the fact that, oh gosh, we're on TV every week, but they're so natural about it.
Yeah. And Jonathan, how's it been for you being involved in this program?
It's pretty interesting. It's fun. It gives me something to do other than sit at home and be bored. And other than play sports and rely on extracurricular activities. But it's really interesting working with people that I know and have good chemistry with.
Now, Isaac, your brother,
Isaiah.
he's involved as well. Do you feel like this is something that you want to do maybe, you know, later on down the road, be involved in the TV business, whether it's in front of the camera or behind the camera?
Actually, yes, I actually do think it's that. Actually, what I want to do when I grow up is want to be a business chain, and I would like to be the person that's being recorded or being interviewed by the person on TV instead of being the person doing TV. Right. So when they came out with this STI740, it's like, that's who I want to be. That's what I want to do, is be a part of the entertainment.
You watch TV? You have any mentors or people that you want to be like or follow or learn from?
I don't remember his name, but it's this guy who owns McDonald's in Dallas, and he owns like 25 McDonald's.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's kind of motivation, huh?
Yeah.
You say if he can do it, well, why can't I, right?
Do it even better.
Right on. And John, this program has been going on for how long now?
Well, we have been, the Arts and Live Connection Learning Institute, we launched it in 2012, but the Greater Dallas CDC has been in Dallas doing work for over 10 years.
Wow. Wow. And what's the future hold?
Well, unlimited. The sky's the limit. We have several other productions coming out. We have a product called Being a Teen that'll be launching in April, which is basically similar to a teen summit type of show where we'll have hundreds of kids in the audience, and we'll be discussing everyday issues that are affecting urban American teens. We have other products online coming soon, an arts and entertainment show that focuses on nothing but positive entertainment, good music, quality stuff, love songs, stuff you know that you don't hear on the radio anymore. Right. So we have a host of products that will be coming from the production end for what we're doing. And if anyone is interested in looking for us, you can find us at DallasCDC.org. And we also are a 501c3 accepting donations, because we're doing this out of pocket with these babies.
Oh, unbelievable. So we need those donations. Go ahead and add something.
If I could add to that also too, in conjunction with the Art to Live, STI740 actually aired its first show on November 1st of last year. And with that show, we had 500 viewers. Wow. Now, we are now at 7,000 viewers a week.
Wow.
Weekly.
I have to correct you. Last week was 11,486.
Yes. Yes.
Keeps going up, huh?
Yes, it's going up. So the show has been very, very, very successful in such a short amount of time. And we are looking for more interns to be a part of the show. We want everyone to know that your child, if they are middle school and high school age, they are more than welcome to be a part of the show. And we also have donors, and we're looking for more donors and sponsors to be a part of it. So if you want to sponsor STI740, by all means, please come and join us. And we shoot every Saturday at 11 a.m.
Amen. And Jonathan, I know this is cool to be involved in a program like this, but how cool is it to be involved in a program like this and your dad is involved as well?
It's pretty cool. You get a lot of recognition because of the people that he knows. But it's pretty cool. It's a lot of responsibility and a lot of priority comes back on you because of what he does. But other than that, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool what you guys are doing, man.
And just to interject, I'm Jonathan, that's John.
Oh, you're Jonathan, you're John. All right, we got it right this time, all right? All right, well, we appreciate you guys being with us, and thanks for joining us today, and we can get more information out about what you guys are doing. And tell us how to do that real quick.
Again, STI740, streammyschool.com. We air every Saturday at 11 a.m. Tune in, check us out. You can also find us at DallasCDC.org.
All right, Jonathan, appreciate that. Hey, we're going to wrap up the show right after this. Thanks for being with us, guys. Good stuff. Yeah, hang on for that camera. All right, welcome back to Drew Pearson Live, and we're joined at the sports desk. Of course, you recognize Doc, who's a regular on Drew Pearson Live, and you see these two young men sitting here. Well, they're from STI740, and that's a sports and educational show on the radio. And these young men are the hosts of that show. We have Jabari Garrett. Raise your hand, Jabari. All right, welcome to the show. And also Isaac Cherry. He's a host of the show as well.
Hey, Mom.
So how'd you guys get into sports talk and have your own show? That's pretty cool at such a young age. Isaac, you're 14, and Jabbar, you're 15. So how'd you get into such a young age and knowing that this is what you want to do?
I would say I'd give props to my dad because it's actually a long story. We're talking about how my brother, he was smarter than me.
Okay.
So we had a lot of things, argue a lot, and my dad would say I'm smarter than him, back to back. So one time he saw that it was whoever he told was smarter, it hurt the other person's confidence. So one time I figured out, okay, if he's smarter than me, he's got me in that. Why not learn something that he's not gonna learn because he's not interested in, which is sports. So that's how I got into it.
Right on. And you, Jabbar?
Basically, when I was like growing up, I just loved to play sports, play football, basketball, soccer, baseball. And then, I mean, I like talking about it with my friends.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, his brother goes to my school, and I like talking about it, so he asked if I went to the show. I was like, yeah, I'm cool.
Why not, right? Right now.
Great way to stay connected.
Yeah. Doc, you got a sports question for you guys?
Well, we were talking a little bit off the air earlier, and I was asking them what they thought about Des Bryant and having the franchise tag put on it. What do you guys think about that?
I think it could go either way. They could have, it could give, at the end of next season, we'll find out who has more leverage. Because if you franchise Dez, but you sign Murray to a long, wealthy contract, what if Murray doesn't do good? But Dez does just as good as he did last year. Broke the Cowboys record with 16 touchdowns.
Did you break my record? No. Mike alert.
So, if Murray doesn't do good and you got Dez playing all pro level, that's going to give that can make Dez happy or mad, and he'll also have leverage in contract talk because Murray didn't do good, Dez did also good, and Dez gonna be like, okay, you gave one guy a big contract, last year was a fluke, so we see how it is.
Yeah.
Dez will have more leverage because I'm gonna do well every season, consistent, 1,000 yards, 13 touchdowns. So I really think it's a huge risk or reward for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it is, and that's just the business side of the football business. And continuing on that, DeMarco Murray, I mean, had a great season, and for him not to be franchised or to be able now to sign a free agent contract with anybody, and I heard even today that the Philadelphia Eagles were interested in maybe signing since they let LaShawn McCoy go. What do you think about that situation, Jabbar?
Well, Eagles letting LaShawn McCoy go. Now that kind of surprised me. They came out of nowhere for me. Now, picking up DeMarco Murray would be like a great investment for the team. But getting a great running back.
Right.
Not saying that LaShawn McCoy wasn't good, and he was, but they don't have him anymore.
Yeah.
So picking up DeMarco Murray would be it would be great for their team. Now the Cowboys, I don't know like how it's going on with their negotiating with Murray, or like how their salary cap is going on now. But if the Cowboys were able to pick up Murray, then that would be great for their team.
Yeah.
Now I believe Murray wants to stay in Dallas. But I mean the money also comes with the I mean it's a business also with the love of the game.
Yeah, it's a tough deal for the Cowboys, right, Doc?
Yeah, and it sounds like Isaac thinks that the Cowboys are going to sign Murray.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're still up in the air. I don't think Murray's going to back. I think Murray's going to get an offer. I think he might come back to Dallas and ask them if they want to match it. But I think, if he gets 3 years, $21 million, I don't see any way in the world the Cowboys are going to match that. I mean, I think that their focus is going to be more on getting Dez a long-term deal before July 15th, before that deadline. But they say, the word is it's going to take somewhere between 40 and 60 million guaranteed to get Dez signed. And I think that's where the big hole is. So you have to factor that in. I don't expect to see DeMarco back. I know you and we've been talking about this for a month now. And but I think he's going to get an offer. I mean, the teams that are interested in him, Arizona, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, There's even some talk that Seattle is very interested in talking to him. You know, if Lynch decides he is going to retire, which I'm not believing that either.
No, not yet. Well, Cole Beasley, you know, he's from Little Elm and SMU. Nice deal for him. 4 years, $13 million. Huh?
Yeah.
You like Cole Beasley as a player?
Well, Cole Beasley, he's a great slot receiver for the Cowboys. I mean, he had a great year last year. Very consistent. Didn't drop any passes. So, I mean, the Cowboys signing him back was great. I mean, they signed back a great, consistent slot receiver.
Yeah.
So they could come up in great moments where they could get a matchup with a linebacker, and Cole Beasley can like easily get out on his lane or something. So that would help easily for the team.
He certainly would. And you know, every time we've been talking only about the offense, Dez and Beasley and DeMarco Murray, but the real problems they have on this football team are on the defensive side of the football. So hopefully they'll be able to do some things on the defensive side through the draft and free agency to help shore up positions on that side, right?
Yes, because they still have to sign, really, I'm just going to tell the whole defense, because the linebackers have to be signed, Justin Durant, Bruce Carter, Rolando McClain, and we don't know how Sean Lee's going to pan out after his injury during training camp. So I think they should restructure Sean Lee's contract since he got hurt. And then if he does well, then go ahead and give him his raise, or restructure his contract to where it was before. But their defense really needs a lot of help. I think if they can sign a good defensive line, we'll really see how good our corners is.
Yeah. Do you guys play football?
Yes.
Can you help us out, the Cowboys? Huh? Hut, suit up! Hey, that's good stuff, guys. Jabari and Isaac from STI740. Appreciate you guys taking the time to be with us, and continued success with your show, okay?
Yes.
And keep doing your thing, because you're doing it well.
Thank you.
All right. Up next, our Hail Mary Hero of the Week, and she's going to tell us all about the Samaritan Inn and the goal to help homeless, so stay tuned.
A lot of your free agents, aka Bruce Carter, Dwayne Harris, Des Bryant, and DeMarco Murray. So I think what they're doing is getting the easier contracts out of the way, so they can determine how much money they could give. They already franchised Dez. He'll get $12 million, but you still have DeMarco. So I think they're just trying to get rid of the easy contracts.
Well, getting rid of the easy contracts. I mean, Cole Beasley, he's a great player. I mean, we all agree on that, right? So, I mean, they wanted him. I mean, he's a great slot receiver. He's coming, producing for us. But Dez and DeMarco's contract, everybody's been talking about. It's kind of hard to figure it to both. So nobody really knows how that's going to work. But when they franchise tag Dez, like, that's just making sure we have him for another year. Now, DeMarco, we don't really know how that's gonna work out, but they want to pick him up, but they have to see how the cap room goes. So I mean, it's just a matter of time and a matter of like their money, like who they really gonna pick up. So yeah.
The salary cap is set up to $150 million. So this is my thing is, you franchise Dez, but you sign Murray to a good, lengthy, wealthy contract, and it comes to find out that. And it comes to find out that Murray's last year was a fluke. And you franchise Dez, which he's been doing good. So how's that going to make Dez feel when you're renegotiating his contract and you're looking, Dez going to be like, okay, Murray's last year was a fluke. I did good. I had 1,000 yards, 13, 16 touchdowns. So that's going to give Dez more leverage in contract talks.
Well, let me ask you guys a question when it comes to Des Bryant and the contract negotiations, because before Des, back in October, they were close to having a long-term deal done with Des, and then Des switched agents. Okay. Now, what do you think? How much do you think all this stuff in the media talking about, oh, there's a video, oh, there's this, there's that out there on Des? How much do you think that interferes with the Cowboys' negotiations with him?
A video of what?
Well, that's what nobody knows what the video is. They're just saying that there's a video out there. I mean, we've heard things of, there's a video out there of a guy dragging a lady out of a car and putting her in another car, and that car is registered to Des. They're not saying it's Dez, and nobody's seen the video, so it's very, it's very, very much up in the air. But I think that has something to do with the negotiations and why they've been slow, because it's going to take between $40 and $60 million guaranteed to sign Dez. Somewhere in that $50 million guaranteed, and that's a lot of money to put up with a receiver if there's any speculation that there's, any issues out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, like you said, that there's a video out there and nobody really knows what it is. So the Cowboys are thinking that if they sign someone that could potentially hurt them, that wouldn't be good for their program. Now, the Cowboys, that could be why the contract negotiating is like taking a long time on like signing him. But I mean, at the same time, the Cowboys aren't really listening to the people outside. They're worrying about their team, and they're worrying about how they can make their team better. So it's just a matter of time on like what the media says, like if the car was registered to Dez, and whether or not they feel like that would be a great fit for their team.
Well, what I think is they can still sign Dez Bryant, even though they franchised him. They can still sign him, but they have to do it by July 1st.
July 15th. They have up till July 15th to sign into a long-term deal.
Okay, so they can still sign him, but with this video talk coming out, it's not true. So, well, we don't know if it's true or not.
I don't think it. Me personally, personal take on it, I don't think there is a video. Because I think if there was, I think TMZ or somebody, you would have seen it by now.
Yeah.
Somebody would have sold that video and made some money off of it. It'd already be out there. I mean, that's what we saw, when we saw that happen to Ray Rice. I mean, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, I think it's video.
They should base Dez's contract like they had it before. You want money, you can't get into as much trouble as you did before. Because when he got to the incident with his mom, they restructured his contract saying, if you get in trouble, you're not getting this certain amount of money. So they should just do it like that.
I think there will probably be clauses in this contract, things that are detrimental to the team and such. And you brought up a point about them signing Cole Beasley to the 4-year, $15.6 million deal. I think that was.
Thanks to all our guests today, the guys from STI740, Lynn from the Samaritan Inn, the lovely Dr. G, and of course Matt from Matador Meat and Wine. I want to thank all you guys for tuning in and being with us and being part of the show. And we'll be right back here next week. But before we go, John, you got something for me?
Yes, I have a self-portrait for Mr. Drew Pearson, the original number 88.
All right. Thank you, sir. Hold it up so we can see it. Looks just like me. We'll be back next week. Drew Pearson Show right here, live. 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 3.